I guess this is the one that I often cite, and that is, as you're going through this process, rely on your friends, rely on your family, but rely on your team of experts in terms of giving you advice about how to get to the best outcome after the divorce. So Emily is going to lead the way in terms of the legal process. Rachel would provide that mental health expertise so that you can come out of this whole, because as Rachel already said, you get married and you hope you're going to stay married, but obviously if you're going through the divorce process, it's the death of a dream. And so it's a sad thing. So we want to make sure that you get the expertise that you need to come out whole at the other end. And there's no time limit for that. No. But then we also want to make sure that when you do come out of this process, that you have the right understanding of your financial situation, because whatever happens going forward, whatever assets that you get, we just want to make sure that you use them to the best capability for not just right after the divorce, but your retirement and things like that. So it's really just a wise use of whatever settlement that you actually receive through the process.
Exactly. So that leads into what my kernel advice is divorce is a marathon, not a sprint. And so that's where you need your team members, especially Rachel, to help guide you through the process, because we can only go as fast as we are going. We can't force the other side to go any faster. So taking it one step at a time is really important. My other kernel advice is, please don't go to Google University. Please don't look online. My doctors tell me not to look online. I'm going to tell you not to look online. I absolutely believe knowledge is power, but the internet is dangerous because they don't know your specific situation. Come talk to me. I can give you the advice. Please just don't look it up online. That is the worst thing that you can do. Rachel, what's your kernel of advice?
Well, you guys kind of stole some of my thunder, but I'll
sorry. We'll let you go first next time.
Right.
No, along with everything, everyone has said so far, I just think it's just so important to make sure you get the support that you need. Make sure that you have people in your life that you can trust and listen to, but also make sure, you don't post anything on social media about your divorce. Make sure that you find the select people that you can trust to talk about, with your divorce. Just because, when people post on social media and start complaining about their spouse, it's nothing good can come of it. And, if you have children or extended family that are going to see that, it's just so negative for everyone. Divorce doesn't have to be toxic. And I think it's important to take a step back and, look at the situations and how do I want my divorce to look? And how do I want to carry myself through this divorce? Also, I'm going to say that it will end. When you're in it, it feels like it's never going to end. So don't rush anything. Don't sign things and do things just because you want it to be over. Make sure that you really are informed about because I see too many people that just wanted it to end and agreed to things they weren't comfortable with. And that's for your life. That's the rest of your life, unless you decide to pursue it. So just make sure that you stay as focused and as calm as possible. Surround yourself with people that you can trust. And, remember that there is a beginning and middle and end to this. And the second part of your life is going to be amazing.
Yep, it is. We've seen people come out at the other side and you are going to absolutely be okay. And in fact, you might even flourish. So.
Right. This is just a bad chapter in the novel of your life. And it's a bad chapter, but you will get through it. And the other chapters are going to get better.
No one has ever said they wish they had waited longer to get divorced.
Right. and like getting pregnant, there's no good time for divorce. So don't wait for this to happen or that to happen. There just is no good time for it. So you have to be ready emotionally to take that jump.
And Nicole, your kernel of wisdom?
My kernel would be that make sure you're coordinating. So as we started off our discussion about prenups or post-nups, you want to make sure that you have everything lined up accordingly. So that goes to, okay, here's what we agreed to with my pre and post nup. As it was mentioned, I think by Emily, make sure then your estate documents are stating the same intentions. And then just as importantly as any titling or beneficiary designations. So we would say, you know, certainly if you're doing a pre or post nup, but certainly if you're going through a divorce, and even if you're not, if you go through and you decide not to get a divorce or things like that, it's just having everything in line with one another, because it's often the case that, you know, you'll do things with your attorney. They offer to help you implement or retitle things. Many people, after paying the retainer or things like that, they're like, oh, I'm kind of done with legal bills. I think I can do this on my own. I don't, you know, right? And then Mary Beth and I meet with them. We're like, oh yeah, you have a great trust, but it doesn't own anything.
Right, right.
It's not going to, you know, it's not going to do, there's going to be extra steps in order to affect what you thought was going to happen. So that's my kernel. And then also to coordinate with your team. You know, we look at it when you're going through a divorce, it's a three-legged stool. There's the legal, the financial, and the emotional aspects. And while I think you can garner, all of us have had exposure or experience, and it may look like there's overlap. I didn't go to law school. I don't play a lawyer on TV. So you want to have your legal expert. Emily and Rachel know stuff about finances, but that's not what they do day in and day out. And the same thing, you know, Mary Beth and I took maybe one or two psychology classes. So while we're empathetic and we'll listen to you, we don't have the expert training and skill set that Rachel does. So each person brings their level of knowledge and expertise to the team, and that's going to best serve you as you are going through this process.
And I guess just to talk about the team aspect of it, people think that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be going through a divorce. How am I going to afford a financial advisor and a divorce coach and an attorney? We don't all, there's sometimes when we all talk together, but if it's an emotional issue, you would speak with Rachel. If it's a legal issue, you would speak with me. And if it's a financial issue, you would speak with Nicole and Mary Beth. So it's not something where you're paying everybody all at the same time. You're paying the person that's specialized in the area that you need at that moment. And I think something else that I wanted to mention, if you are really thinking about a divorce, maybe think about who is your medical power of attorney. If you are going to be going through a divorce, do you really want your spouse to still be able to make those medical decisions for you in the event something was to happen? And unfortunately, we have a case where a woman going through a divorce had a stroke, and her husband is the medical power of attorney, and that's not who she wanted. So that's something for you to think about.
No, that's a great point. Especially if your spouse has a legal obligation to provide financial support going forward, and he has the decision as to whether or not he's going to pull the plug. You know, he's not going to necessarily make the most objective decision on your behalf and for your welfare. So that's something that we talk about right at the very beginning too. But anyway, all great questions. I think we could probably spend another hour just kind of going over some of the aspects of this, but to be respectful of everybody's time, we just want to say thank you for all your great questions. We hope that you gained knowledge and help eases your mind, and that you feel a lot better equipped to move forward on whatever path is best for you. If you feel like you would like to have a complimentary 30-minute consultation or have a specific question, please contact us. You can see our contact information up on the screen right now, and you can also email Nicole Young to get that information. But we regularly host these virtual events. We will keep you in the loop by adding you to our invite list. Our next session is going to be on June 18th, right? I apologize for not knowing. If you look at our website, it will be there, but we're going to be talking about complex issues in divorce. So I apologize. I think it's the 16th, now that I say that. Oh, no, Nicole Young is correcting me. Sorry, everybody. It is actually June 17th.
Yes, I was trying to find it on my
I
calendar.
apologize. So we had a bit of a shuffling, and then we also have another divorce resource question and answers on June 30th. So we look forward to being with you again. Again, we invite you to share any of your concerns and or questions with us. So we will also wish you a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
They're always better when they're long like this. So enjoy and be safe.